Hi guys, MrRoflWaffles here. Today I'm going to be giving you a historical recap of sorts, and a bit of a walkthrough as well, of the CallOfDuty.com/classified viral campaign for Call of Duty World War II. It's going to feature a bunch of campaign info for the game, some zombies teasers for the game, and the exciting thing is that there's actually a reward that you get for getting to the end of all of this. There's an incentive for you to watch this video all the way through and follow along the steps that I show you, because if you get to the very end of that website, you get to the first in, first to win screen, you're going to get access to a secret, as far as I'm aware, unique calling card in Call of Duty World War II that you can't get any other way, as far as I know. So that's pretty exciting. If you're ready to get started, drop a like on the video, and we'll begin. The very first thing that, I guess, kicked all of this off was the teaser image of a zombie that was shown to us during the worldwide reveal livestream for Call of Duty World War II. It was this image here, Sledgehammer tweeting it out, etc., and people found that when you cranked the levels on the image, it looked like there might have been some text hidden in the zombie's helmet, which was really bizarre. So I had a screenshot of this from the live stream itself, because I was streaming the stream while they were streaming, and I did exactly that. I took the image, I cranked the levels, and I realized that not only was there text in the helmet, but it was actually pretty damn readable. The version that Sledgehammer were tweeting out, you can't really make out. It's pretty garbled, but my version from the official stream looks pretty good. So it looks like a cipher. Is it a cipher? Well, it's fairly short, and so people were trying to solve it, but having extreme difficulty. Ultimately, the shorter a cipher is, the more hard it is to crack, most of the time at least, because of the fact that you have less information about what's going on. Your statistical tests are things that you can hold less confidence in, and so you can do an IOC test on this, and you can say, well, it must be polyalphabetic, but that could just be a coincidence because of how little ciphertext you have. So it was difficult, but people were working on it. The sort of hardcore, I guess, cipher team in the zombies community, Water, Oxenate, Liz, a bunch of other people no doubt as well, were all sort of trying to figure out what this actually said. But we then got, I suppose, a little hint in the right direction from Charlie Intel. Charlie Intel tweeted out this. Any idea what Cal means? And a little thinking emoji on there as well. Cal, it turns out, as I'm sure you're really not surprised to hear, actually was not the full message that had been added into this tweet that they were showing on the Worldwide Reveal livestream, and that's what this screenshot is taken from. It turns out that there were several other messages that we could add on, and when pieced together, spelled out CallOfDuty.com/classified, which is this website here. And this is what really got the ball rolling, because at this point we had several codes, and we also had, seemingly, somewhere to enter them. So, IUFDJ was the first one that we saw in the image here that I've just shown you, okay? When you enter it, the green light turns on, and you get a new H, okay? So Star Wars fans are thinking A New Hope, oh my goodness, but that's not it. We then type the second code, BHLOP, and that gives us another green light, as you can see, and gives us another bit of text. So we've got a new H, aura, so a new horror, and then the final code was JMUBA, and by the way, follow along with me while I'm doing this. These codes will be in the description down below. That gives you access to Rises. A new horror rises, and this happens. Kind of blinks a little bit, and you get access to a dossier. There's 4 names on the front, who are presumably going to be the 4 zombies characters we'll be playing as in Call of Duty World War II, and inside, there's some interesting stuff. You've got Sancti Imperator Romanus, and this image here with Frederick Barbarossa written at the bottom. The link people are making is that Barbarossa, Operation Barbarossa in fact, was the plan that Nazi Germany had to invade the Soviet Union during the war, And on the right side, we've got a portrait of a young man, Rafael, which is actually a painting that ended up getting lost and stolen and has a really crazy history with the Nazis during the Second World War. So that's interesting, and these are no doubt teasers for some things that we're going to be expecting in the Zombies mode. But we can go back to the decoder. We can go back to this screen and enter more codes if we like. And we also noticed that there are several potential lights up here that haven't turned on. So it seems like there may well be more to this. And as such, we drew for the calculators and started trying to figure out just how easy it would be to figure out these codes, okay? We have, on this website, 5 spaces for letters and 26 letters. So, assuming that a letter is allowed to be pressed more than once in a sequence, we've got to go 26 to the power of 5. That gives us a fairly large number, 11,881,376. But, for a computer, that number isn't actually that large. You compare it to, for example, the kind of scale of number of solutions that the ADFGX cipher has from Mob of the Dead that is still unsolved to this day, like 4 years after it came out or something now. That number of combinations and possible solutions is 1,000,000,000,000,000,000. I'm not even going to type the whole thing because it just goes on and on and on and on and on. Roughly on the order of 10 to the 25 possible different solutions for that damn thing, which is a little difficult. But our number here of 11,881,376 is decent. That's 26. Oh, hold on, let's actually clear that. Let's clear this bad boy. Gosh darn it. There we go. That's going to be 26 to the power of 5. Okay? We then started thinking, if we assume we can try one of these every second, okay, and then we convert that into hours, then there's 60 seconds in a minute, so let's divide by 60. There's 60 minutes in an hour, so let's divide by 60 again, there we go. And we end up with 3,300 hours. If we're trying one possible word, one possible sort of key phrase per second, okay? Then we think, right, if we then end up doing something like dividing this task between 10 people, okay, divide by 10, 330 hours. That's not too bad. If we then say, you know what, we're going to speed up this testing process and not just test it once every 1 second, but once every 0.1 seconds, then we divide by 10 again, and we end up with a pretty reasonable number, 33 hours. So in 33 hours, if you were testing one of these, every 0.1 seconds, you could go through every single possible key, literally every single one, and find any codes that Call of Duty had available to access on this website. And that would include all, presumably, 5 codes that you would need in order to light these things up and get access to whatever the hell might be on the other side of it. Okay? So, suffice to say, the community got to work. I was talking to a friend, Porter, I was talking to my friend, Chucky, and in conversation with Chucky, and then in conversation with Porter, and then with essentially the next 24 hours solid of thinking about this with Porter, we found out that we essentially had all of the keys. We pretty much, thanks to Porter's hard work, and to some serious consideration of the kind of task at hand, I suppose, we put the work in and crack the codes. And so we have those codes available to you to use now. I've got them on my phone written down. We're going to be typing them in as follows. GMULV is the first. That's actually the first one that we found, and that was really exciting because it worked when we put it in, and it said Crow L, and we were thinking, okay, Crow, like, is that related to some kind of myth maybe, or is this going to be zombies related, or what? We then get the next key, Y is there, G, X, S, H. That's our second code. Second green light goes on. Super exciting stuff. That's actually the second one we got. And we got E-Roo. So, Crowley-Roo. That's interesting. Crowley. Peculiar. We keep going. C-E-O-D-L. I said L. There we go. That's the third one turned on now. We get some more text. Crowley, Rousseau. Okay, and people start thinking, well, we started thinking, this is a name. These are two names, in fact. Crowley and Rousseau. We keep going. I, B, H, Q, B. Fourth code, green light turns on. We get some more text here, and it's going to give us red, zoo, okay. And then it would be a fair guess, just judging from the Worldwide Reveal livestream where they were talking about a character called Zussman, that final word, when we put the final code in, QKEQW, QKEQW, it's going to give us that fifth green light. It's going to give us that final bit of this text here. So we've got Crowley, Rousseau, Red, and Zussman. And bingo, the site's going to open up, and we're going to get access to the second set of dossiers. Hell yeah. So there's a lot of this. Like, seriously, a lot. And I've got to give a shout out to Porter for his hard work. The alternative method to find all of these, by the way, would have been to look at all of the billboards that were available to the world and essentially contained these codes hidden in their sort of, I guess, sort of different bits of them, really. So, for example, on this one, that's a billboard just available to the general public for Call of Duty World War II. This is actually an image that Charlie Intel tweeted out. And if you zoom in up here, you can see QKEQW, that's one of those 5 codes. So there was an alternative way to get these, but we were faster, because we're the zombies community. Of course we were faster. So we go back to the website, we look through these things. You've got Crowley's dossier, you've got some info about him, and I've already made a video on all of this, so I'm just going to click through it now. You've got a transcript here, a map, which is quite interesting. You can click through and see a gun blueprint as well. Another map, which is cool. That's his dossier. Then Zussman, you've got some more info, a signature that you just can't damn read, and you open it up. Got some photos, best friend Daniels, and a memo there. You click through, another gun blueprint, which is nice, and a message to Susie saying that they're going to be going for pizza, which is cute as hell, and then Rousseau. So these, if you haven't noticed, are the names of the people that were on that little scrolling bit of plain text, of English text, when we were putting the codes in. Rousseau looks like a woman here in the French Resistance. In fact, the FFI specifically. You've got some stuff in French here that I can't read, but I've translated in the description of this video. I think that's a fake ID back there. You've also got a little postcard here and a photo, so that's Rousseau. And then Daniels, Ronald, who has, I guess, abbreviated his name to Red. He's going to be Private Red Daniels in the first, and he's pretty much one of the main characters in the campaign. And opening this up, got some photos, got a little nice note here. Father was a war hero. Big boots to fill. And you go through, you see another blueprint, you see another letter, pretty good stuff. Let's close that. You've got the Zombies dossier again, like I've just said, from before. Sancti Imperator Romanus, all of that, we've seen this, let's close that. And finally, we get to this page. First in, first to win. Well done, soldier. Now, claim your calling card. 1944. You click on it, okay, and it's gonna take you to this page just here. Success, you broke the code, now sign in to claim your reward. I'm using a bit of footage here from yesterday because I've already entered my details, and obviously if I enter them again, it's just going to say, Milo, we can't give you 2 calling cards, mate. Like, just wait for the game to come out and you'll get your calling card and you'll be fine. So this is what it looked like when I originally entered my details. It lets me know that on November 3rd, I'll be getting my calling card in-game. We're first in, we're first to win, and this has all been quite an exciting little process. I'm really very happy with how it's all turned out. This has been a nice throwback to things like GK Nova 6 and Enhance Yourself for a Better Tomorrow.info, which I loved and was very much active in as well in those campaigns. And hopefully you've enjoyed this little sort of recap of things as well, and this walkthrough so that you can get your own calling card in your game. If you've enjoyed the video, then leave a like. That would be fantastic. as usual. We've put a lot of work into this, so it would be much appreciated, and I'll hopefully see you in more World War II videos very soon. Bye-bye.